Shalom, everybody. Welcome to Hebraic Faith TV and Marriage. We got the one and only DJ YOEL and his lovely wife, Miss Chantel Burks, the top real estate person in Atlanta area. If you're looking for a home, please get with my sister. You're looking to rent, get with my sister. But right now, let's get into this. This is one of my jams.
Give you my respect like you're my father. You're my Abraham and I'm your Sarah. I won't be afraid, I'll do everything you say, babe.
You ain't gotta worry, cause you know I treat you right. We gon' be together for the rest of our lives. Represent the church, baby, I represent Christ. And if it comes to it, I will lay down my life for you.
You know I never met a man like you before.
And you know, cause I follow Christ and I keep the laws.
You taught me so many things that I never knew before.
And there's a lot to show you out of this book of the law.
I love how you command your house, that's why I call you Lord.
And you was made for me and I take care of you in this truth.
We gon' stay together cause we've already been proved.
And I'll enjoy life with the wife of my youth.
You know you the one that I'ma honor. Give you my respect like you're my father. You're my Abraham and I'm your Sarah. I won't be afraid, I'll do everything you say, babe.
You ain't gotta worry, cause you know I treat you right. We gon' be together for the rest of our lives. Represent the church, baby, I represent Christ. And if it comes to it, I will lay down my life for
I
you.
love how you keep your bed kept with your fringes and your ribbon of blue.
I love watching you walk with your skirt past your knees. Keep doing what you do.
I love how you put so much work into this truth.
It's a beautiful thing when a husband and wife agree. Don't you agree?
I do. You know you the one that I'ma honor. Give you my respect like you're my father. You're my Abraham and I'm your Sarah. I won't be afraid, I'll do everything you say, babe.
You ain't gotta worry, cause you know I treat you right. We gon' be together for the rest of our lives. Represent the church, baby, I represent Christ. And if it comes to it, I will lay down my life for you. The world is ours.
The world is Zion's.
It's almost time
to claim it soon.
Gotta send signs
and wonders
to stay together forever.
Ain't nothing but us is thunder. You know you the one that I'ma honor. Give you my respect like you're my father. You're my Abraham and I'm your Sarah. I won't be afraid, I'll do everything you say, babe.
You ain't gotta worry, cause you know I treat you right. We gon' be together for the rest of our lives. Represent the church, baby, I represent Christ. And if it comes to it, I will lay down my life for you. Together, baby. Forever, baby. Together, baby. Forever, baby. Together, baby. Forever, baby. Together, baby. Forever, baby.
Shalom to the brethren, as my man Ak Brandon would say. Shalom, Moray. Shalom, Isha. How you doing?
Shalom. How are you?
I think we're doing well, man. How you doing, Elder?
Man, I'm all praises, man. I'm good, man. I am laid back, man. I am blessed by the Most High. Yahuwah, man, no complaints, man. This has been a long time in the making, man.
I know.
We talked about this when I was in California, man.
Yeah, man.
now we finally here. All praise to you. Listen, everybody, this is a great segment tonight. Like the sign says, it's the Ruach of nothing. This is my brother whom I dearly love, his wife who I love dearly. They are great people, Ruach-filled people. We're here to talk about marriage, finance, romance, and all the other businesses. Hallelujah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on, introduce yourself. Listen, let me say something. My man Aki been married for 30 years coming up. That is something that is hardly seen. The big 3-0, y'all. Yeah. 30 years going strong. Yeah. All praises to you. You are a blessing to us. You're an example to us.
Thank you.
This is what we should strive for. Come on, Anthony. I'm going to start with the missus. Come on. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
Yeah.
Chantel Burks, real estate agent, wife, mom,
co-owner, entrepreneur,
all of that.
All praise. It's all good. It's all good. We need you.
I'm not used to talking about myself, so.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm sure my Aki got plenty to say about that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I would have been better introducing him.
Yeah, she's the co-founder of Burks Enterprises LLC. She keeps the book straight. She keeps my schedule full with training opportunities. And she doesn't really speak a lot and boast about herself, but I think I might do that. Well educated, I should say. And yes. So ex-military. I'm ex-military as well. And 30 years come December the 7th, we'll be who we are or what we've become.
God.
I'm DJ YOEL, the Hebrew. And man, it's exciting to be really interviewed by you. You wear and you support a lot of the Hebrews, a lot of the people in business. And as you
now
said,
you see how he skipped over his introduction.
No, I'm gonna come back around to that. All right. So what I was going to lead to is you do many things, and one of the things that you wanted to post was an interview with me and the wife.
Yes.
And I think the first go around we had some time, some conflict issues as it relates to time. Wow. And so I thank you. I realized how important how important promotion of interviews and all that stuff is. That's a big deal. That's what you do. And so that's my humble apology.
No worries. No worries at all with you, man.
Here we are. So I'm a DJ. My day job is an IT trainer. I'm an IT trainer, IBM master instructor. So I do a lot of deliveries amongst many, many clients. And then I DJ in the mix of all that.
And you do. You're a good one too.
And well, bless the Most High. Bless the Most High. My wife and I were pretty active in outreach. The homeless area around downtown. And what else?
Hey, can I say something about that? You do the homeless outreach downtown. So shout out to my sisters Kana and them.
Yes.
Kana, Yafa, Yael, and those sisters down there. You know what I'm saying? With the don't delete me, sis. Flats to the ground.
I see that post. Don't delete me.
Flats to the ground. Shout out to Flats to the ground down in Atlanta with DJ YOEL. Doing it huge. My man Oxzug and them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's a lot of work, man. One thing about doing ministry work, and I don't mean just music. I'm talking about when you get out there, when there's no camera, there's no Facebook, it's the gritty, grimy, concrete, and you're dealing with brothers that are dealing with a lot of issues, man. A lot of brothers deal with trauma. A lot of brothers are, drug addicted. Some have been, pushed outside of what we call the church, or what some may call the assembly, and so we go out. I try to go out as much as I can on the weekends.
Yes.
But there's a need, man. There's a need. The thing about this is that the laborers, in comparison to the need, the laborers are few. Very few.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it takes real work. It takes real resources. It takes real money.
Yes.
It takes real time. It takes commitment. It takes energy. And often you come back tired and frustrated because you're praying for all the similar labor, similar resources, because it takes that, to sustain the needs that are out there. So that's just a little bit about the YOEL Kingdom outreach that we've been doing this about 5 years, 5+ years.
And she supports you fully.
Man, she got me back in prayer. You know, she goes out when she can, but
yes, sir, understood.
Yeah, but you know, it's a unique world out there.
Very much so. Very much so.
And you see some stuff that you can't post, you can't stream.
You know,
there's a lot of broken people.
Very much so.
And those are our people. You know,
yes,
we
sir.
can't
yes,
cast
sir.
them away. We got to do what we can to care for them, you know, with responsibly so. So yeah, YOEL Kingdom Outreach, that's what I do. YOEL Kingdom Music, that's what I do. And then the Berks Global Learning, the training component, we've done that for many, many years. We've been 22 years self-employed coming up.
Wow, hallelujah. Hallelujah. It's been 2011 since myself. Since I walked away from corporate America.
Amen.
All praise. Now we finna get into this.
Okay.
Listen, people, listen, Miss Parker, you don't have 30 years of marriage without Yahuwah. Nowadays, people are scared of the word marriage. And then we see the ones that want marriage that are not prepared for marriage. Then the ones that are prepared are taking the ones that are not prepared. So we end up with people that fall away from each other. What is it? Tell me the source of how you guys keep it going, how you keep it fresh, how you keep the romance brewing, how you keep that love going. What's that spark that when you still see her when you come in the room? Because I seen y'all. I be watching. I seen y'all was outside at the beach with moms and stuff. I seen her looking at you like, yeah, that's my guy right there. I pay close attention. I'm very observant. And
I like him a little bit.
She all right. Well, I think, oh man, there's so much to provide in that answer. But I think, and I often share this with someone that asks, how do you ever stay married for so long? We had some rules, some principles that we established early on in our marriage. One was, now some of this certainly has changed. One was early on in getting married, we would not let anybody stay with us. Now,
wow.
Of course, we welcome people now, but I'm talking about in building the relationship.
Yes, sir.
We did not let anyone stay with us. We did not loan money to family and friends without first talking one to another.
Say that again.
We did not loan money to anyone without first talking one to another. I don't care if it's $5, $10. I don't care if it's your mama asking or your brother or your twin. I've had someone ask me, a very close person in the family, and I said, let me. I'm sure that's okay, but let me just talk with the wife, make sure it's good. Yes, that's how you keep harmony.
Yes.
Within the financial component of your relationship. See, there's more. It's more than just being married and being intimate and raising kids. You got areas in your relationship that you have to sovereignly manage with the right principle, with the right construct. And another thing that we instituted in our marriage is that divorce is not an option.
Hallelujah.
Divorce is not an option.
So you saying we're gonna talk this out?
Yeah,
we're gonna work this out.
And then the last thing, I mean, these are at least the 4 principles we agreed to. The other one was that we would not involve people in intimate details of our relationship. So if her and I had a spat or an argument, I didn't go tell mama.
Come on
she didn't
now.
Go tell sister. She didn't go tell mama. I didn't go tell sister. I didn't say, hey, bro.
Nah, yes, sir.
Man, your sister. We didn't do that. We covered one another. So we might have been hot, steaming, or at least upset with one another, but we didn't expose that.
Hallelujah.
You know?
Hallelujah.
We stuck with, I think. And I might have missed an area.
No, you're fine. I agree with everything that you said. I mean, I think that when it's taking me a minute just to go back, because it's been a minute since we first started. But I think the thing that we were trying to do is to gel together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think sometimes people are gelling with other people in the mix. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so instead of just gelling, because it's 2 people that are joining their lives, you come from different backgrounds, different ways of thinking, different trains of thought. And you have to bring that together.
Yes, ma'am. Very much so.
you have to bring that together. And it's enough just between the two of you, you know, fussing and fighting over the toothpaste and the deodorant.
Where you put your shoes?
How you hang the clothes on the hanger.
Oh man,
And, you know,
my
just
wife is like that.
Or who's responsible to wash the car? Is your
You
car
know,
you wash it?
everything. And so you're finding your way, you're finding your lane, so to speak.
Yes,
You know, and it's important that you're not taking what someone else is doing in their relationship and try to apply it to yours. Because just because it works for them doesn't mean it'll work for you.
Come on now.
You know, maybe you have a husband that enjoys cooking as a chef, you know, so you can't take on that traditional role that, you know,
the woman,
you know,
if the man enjoys cooking, if that's what he does.
Yeah, if that works for you, then hey, roll with it.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So it's just mainly just gelling the relationship, joining together, and spiritually, emotional, and we had some
situations.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm never physical, but a lot of, you know, arguments, but the thing is we just kept talking about it.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe had to take a break, and get back in the ring.
Yes, ma'am.
Figure it out.
And I think it's important.
Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
As a man, I think it's important to understand that women, they communicate differently.
There you go.
Just because they talk and just because you think you listen doesn't necessarily mean it's communication. You have to understand what your wife is saying from an emotional standpoint. You have to understand it from a practical standpoint. And often we super spiritualize everything. And I will say this, for all the married couples, if you've been married for a number of years, not everything, hear me carefully, not everything is answered in prayer. Sometimes it's going to take a good old hard conversation.
God, come on now. You need to say that again.
It's going to take a hard conversation. Sometimes you got to go into areas of your life, of your
come on now,
how you were reared, to understand why you think a certain way, why you do a certain thing, why do you respond, why do you get angry the way you do. And often we want to blanket everything with prayer. And I'm not knocking prayer. I don't want. But when it comes to building a relationship in a family, you got to talk. You got men, hear me carefully. Men, you got to talk. And men, you got to listen.
Quit running.
I got all the Codys out there saying, amen, Brother YOEL. Listen, we like to fix, we like to heal, we like to mend. If it's duct tape, we're gonna put some tape on it. We're gonna get a hanger, we're gonna get a band-aid, we're gonna do something, a rubber band. Women, they like to process things.
Yes, they
and you're gonna have to do it, brother. You're gonna have to do it. You got to learn how to talk, and you got to know when to chime in without making it feel like an interruption. There were to be when you work for the corporate space, when you work for the bank. And I would say, honey, how was your day? And I'm looking for the day was good. Hey man, let's go eat. But what I would get, well, honey, I backed up out the car and something was back there. Then I had to get out and do this. And I drove into work and traffic was crazy. Then when I got to the work, this person did this. So what she's doing is she's giving me the process.
Yes, she's giving you dialogue.
And I'm thinking, let me just give her a solution.
Yeah.
Many of our arguments was me trying to give her a solution because that's how I'm designed. What she wanted was someone to hear the conversation of how everything actually was.
Yes, sir.
Elder, that took a long time for Brother YOEL to get that.
Listen, I was one that didn't want to talk at first. You know what I mean? I was scared to approach certain things. I would try to sweep it under the rug. Like, it's going to be all right. We could pray. Like you said, pray. Like, we can pray about that. Some things, no, she'd be like, look, you're going to talk to me.
Yeah.
We're not going to be in this house and we're not going to be able to have no communication. This is what she used to say to me. We're going to talk about this. I need to know why you did that. Why did you respond like that?
Right.
What is your problem? And those are hard questions for us.
For men,
that's hard questions for us.
It's hard for men to articulate the way they think. We can articulate how we feel. We're angry, we're upset, don't talk about any time. We're good at that. But when it comes time, when the wife says, do you want to eat at this restaurant? And I say no, and she'll say, why not? I don't understand the logic. I don't want to eat there because I don't want to eat there.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
the way she's thinking, do you not want to eat there because you had a bad experience? Was the food not good? Was it pricey? Was it uncomfortable? Was the ambient environment, conducive for quality eating? That's what she's looking for.
Yes.
But I didn't know that. And so when she would ask me for the second time, the third time, why does she want to eat there? Now I'm upset because I'm thinking she's not listening.
Well, and that's having a relationship, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because if you were anyone else, I probably wouldn't care that much about why you don't. You said no, let's move on. Yeah. But because you're my husband, I want to know. So I want to, and
Can you say that one more time? Can you say that one more time, please? Please say that one more time. That's so beautiful.
It's hard. It's just being in a relationship. Because you're my husband.
Because you're her husband.
Because you're my husband.
Oh, Lord.
And I care. I want to know why. Like, is this a type of food that you don't like? So maybe I won't ask you in the future, do you want to eat there?
Yes, ma'am.
So.
And that's intimacy to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brothers, that's intimacy right there. Yeah. Intimacy goes past the bedroom.
Yeah.
Conversations can become intimate.
Yeah.
You can, when you massage her mind and you gratify her with great conversation, it takes everything to another level.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
But if you have no conversation, what you doing? You sticking and moving. That's it.
That's right.
Now, come on, please give us some more of that, please.
Well, I think I had to learn what intimacy was.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
All the grown folks, intimacy is not sex only.
Ooh, hit them again.
All the grown folks, all the single folks looking to get married, go into your marriage with a bit of education. Sex alone is not intimacy. When you can connect with your wife, husband, wife, when you can connect with them emotionally, it means everything.
Yes, yes.
When you can talk to them, when you can appease where they are, because sometimes, man, you may have to encourage your wife.
Yes.
Listen, women need constant encouragement. Constant.
So do men.
So do men. We got women. Okay. They need constant affirmation.
And I agree with you on that, but I say, and I agree with you 1,000%. We have to build our women. Our women are emotional creatures by nature. Yeah. They're emotional. And I remember my wife's, it was an argument that just jumped off. And she told me, and it snapped me back. She said, look, I don't need you acting like me. I don't need you acting like me.
We need to stop this interview right now. We don't need to. Yeah, you done. We done.
I was like, it slapped me in the face. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, you acting like me now. I don't need you. There's only one emotional person in here. That's me. And I don't need you. You're the man. I don't need you acting like that. That checked me in quickly. It hurt my feelings and it checked me in.
Well, I think one of the surprising things for me, we were 19 and 20 getting married.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we still had some growing up to do, right?
Yes.
And I think one of the things that surprised me is that men have emotions, they have feelings, and they need encouragement.
Yeah.
They need to be built up. They need a place to rest, because you're just raised as a young lady to think that, oh, it's about me being comforted, me being, emotionally stroked or whatever. Yeah. But, I think relationships that last, the woman has definitely figured that out. And you have to give your husband a place where he can come home and be vulnerable. And I think that's one of the reasons.
Was you on our last live?
Huh?
Were you on our last live?
But when he was saying we took divorce off the table when we first got married.
Yes, ma'am.
And when we did that, it was such a relief. Because now we can just have a knockdown, drag out argument. I can tell you exactly what I feel and exactly what I'm thinking without the risk of you running
Ooh,
that's not in the car. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can say, I don't like this, or you hurt me, or, you know, whatever. And he can say it to me. And we can know, and we had to understand that we're doing that in love. Like, that person is not trying to hurt you. And that's one of the things that we had a hard time articulating to each other initially, is that I'm saying this because I love you. Yeah. This is coming from a place of love. It may sound harsh. It may be something you don't want to hear, but it's because I love you. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't care.
I've heard that many days.
And it's good to have that boundary, because divorce is not an option. So
yes, sir.
We just stuck talking about this until there's a resolve.
Yeah. And I think, just real quick, we're not talking about people in abusive relationships, okay? Because sometimes people can stuff and kind of bend it to, they no.
The righteous relationship.
If you getting beat up and emotionally abused, that's not what we're talking about here. That's not what I'm saying. So I just wanted to say that, just, you know,
let me ask this, because we got some wisdom here, y'all. We have some real wisdom here. 30 years of marriage. All praise to Yahuwah. I salute you. I salute both of you, man. I take my hats off. I bow before you with respect, man. That's beautiful, Aki. That's so beautiful, because we don't see this many examples. We see them far and in between, because everybody is doing the emotional thing. And not the Ruach-led thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're in a time now, we have to be careful who we choose. Sure. We got to be careful who we make that ketubah with, that agreement with. Yeah. How can two walk together except they be agreed, not just with the sex, not just with the finances, but through the Ruach HaKodesh. Absolutely. Right. Because you can have a woman, she looked like the part, or have a man, he looked like the part, but when you get him home and skin him, he's nothing but what he advertised to be. That's right. What would you say to people that are thinking, to the singles that want to get married? What is your advice? Like, say, listen, this is what's going on. This is what you need to do.
Yeah. That's a very good question. And one thing that I don't want to provide, and I would pray everyone hears this, I don't want to over spiritualize, because if you over spiritualize, you'll miss the practical. Yeah. You'll miss the script. You'll miss the instruction. Yes, and so to say, you know, pursue a man after Yahweh's own heart, that's good, but that doesn't provide real context. To pursue a woman after Yahweh's own heart, that's good. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what are your personal appetites? You like to travel? There's nothing wrong. We know a couple married for years. The wife likes to travel, the man does not. Can you imagine the frustration that would provide for a woman that just wants to get on a plane or a train and go? And so now you got a grumpy man that doesn't want to do anything but sit around the house and watch sports. And you got a woman who's very vibrant and likes to travel and see the world. So there's nothing wrong with articulating and petition this before the Father. Father, I want a man that enjoys traveling. I want to marry a man that enjoys to see exotic things, or like to swim, or like to play basketball. Whatever. There's nothing wrong with defining. And at the same time, there's nothing wrong with the Father provides someone that's looking to grow with you.
Yes, sir.
So you wanna have both. Because I go a million different.
I would say you need to have a friendship.
God.
We were best friends before
we were best friends. We were friends. And to me, that is the thread throughout our marriage, because it allows us to just be real with each other. Like, I don't have to be fake. I don't have to put on airs. I don't have to go to sleep in makeup and then turn you know what I'm saying? Like, I can completely be myself. And obviously you want to keep yourself nice, you know, for each other or whatever. But the other thing is, when you're developing your relationship, communication is important, because you want to make sure that there were things that Darwin would do, Yoel would do. I haven't gotten
Skinny with the
Oh,
government.
anything you want, baby.
No, that's right.
that he would do because he's seen someone else doing it, another couple or whatever. Or, well, don't women like this or women this and that. Get rid of that.
Yeah.
Get rid of that language. I'm not women, I'm your woman.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
and you can't necessarily take your relationship as a man that you have with your mom and try to put that expectation upon her.
That's for sure.
Because I have to know what she desires, what she wants,
right.
what she craves.
Right.
And I have to satisfy that, or at least support what she desires.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's too where some people kind of have the snag with relationships they've had in the past.
Yes, ma'am.
Because when you've been involved in certain type of relationships, then you bringing all of that, whether it's a sexual appetite or whatever, into your relationship. And
you hitting on something now.
Yeah.
You hitting on something. You just dropped a bomb. You can't walk away from that. We got to go back and pick these bodies up because you just dropped a bomb.
Let me start by saying we were 19 and 20 when we got married. I was a virgin.
All praises.
And we did not have sex before we got married.
Hallelujah. Y'all hear that?
And I've had people ask me, well, don't you feel like you missed out on stuff? But listen, I've been married for 30 years, happily married. Let me tell you, happily married. And everything that I feel like I wanted to do, I done did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like
I'm sorry, we're looking at y'all shout. Tony Michelle, thank you. We appreciate
and
that.
So the women that I talk to, it's like you're out here, you're dipping here and there or whatever. Then when you finally do get with a good man that you feel like you want to settle down with, now you've got all of these soul ties or emotional ties that you have to reconcile with.
Yes, ma'am.
Because now you're trying, oh, well, I remember this person used to do this or that. See, I didn't have any of that. I was a blank slate.
Ooh, yes, you were.
And we created it together.
Oh, Lord. Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? So,
come on now.
Preach.
So
it's
I put that out there, and it's not to say anything negative about anybody else, right? But I just feel like that testimony is not told enough.
Yeah.
You know, and I want people to know that you can actually walk according to the word of Yah. You can actually walk in that, and He will bless you, and He will give you the desires of your heart.
Yeah.
Yes,
you know, it happens. He does it.
Can we say this? Let's go back to something you made a point. And the Most High have we're going to get into this later on in a couple of episodes down the line about soul ties, people, you know, because a lot of marriages are ruined because people didn't take time to heal.
Yeah.
They jumped into something else that didn't take time to heal. So the expectations, like you said, are different. Your man, everybody is not the same.
Right.
So you had a guy who you were angry with. Not saying you, I'm just saying in general. Let's say you had a guy who you were angry with, and the best sex was always when you guys made up. So now you have that same expectation for your husband.
Yeah.
But now that's why you fuss with your husband. Because you want to experience that sex you had with your last partner.
Right.
So we got stuff like that going on because nobody has really took time to be delivered and nobody took time to be healed. So like you said, we bring this baggage into the relationship. Yeah. You know, we mask. It's time to take the mask off and really see us before we give us to anyone else.
Oh my goodness.
Because we're giving people facades. We're giving them mindless people. I don't want the facade. I need you. Because you're over here not healed, you're over here wounded, you're leaking and bleeding, you forgot about yourself, but you presented me with this nice looking sister with great ethics, you know the word, but yet and still you're wounded.
Wow.
Yet and still you're bandaged, but you won't show me that person until we get married.
Right. There are, pardon me for interrupting you, I just want
to keep going, Aki.
We have a lot of hurt men, a lot of broken men.
Yes, we do.
Whether it was the lack of a father figure, or maybe the presence of one that was abusive, whether it was a mother who wasn't as affectionate as she could have been. Therefore, the man has not a miscued idea of what affection looks like. Affection and sex are different. Affection, sex, intimacy are all different.
Say it again, please, for the people in the back.
For the people way in the back.
Way in the back.
Affection, sex, and intimacy are all different.
My drop.
And
are
all
totally different.
needed.
And they're all needed. They're all needed. There are some men who don't understand what affection is.
Yes, sir.
Affection doesn't always lead to sex.
Come on.
Many times, affection is providing that emotional need or support that you're lacking, and we often displace, misplace, misrepresent a craving for sex instead of having affection. And all these things are so vital or so valuable. You have men that may not have had a father figure that taught them how to treat a woman. And so now this man goes into this relationship thinking all the woman wants is money and sex.
Mm-hmm.
That may be the two things she don't want. And I'm not saying she don't need. I'm saying she may not want those.
Yes.
She might need security. She might need covering.
Yes.
She might need emotional support. She might need entrepreneur. Well, anytime my wife has a business vision, what can I do to support? And I say that. What can I do to support you?
Yes, sir. Talk about
What
it.
can I do to not me, not support it, because she supports my business ideas. What can I do to help build your platform?
Yes.
We're going to do it together, but what can I do? So I'm making myself available to her need. And there's times when we have our family business meetings in the office. She manages those. Okay, this is your vision last week. This is your goal last week. Have you hit it? So my wife is very structured. Very project manager. So I'm sharing just a little bit.
Yes.
So right then isn't the time to be intimate because I need to support where she's at. She's providing guidance entrepreneurially for the family, as I do as well. So back to the men. If you've dealt with any kind of traumatic issue, and often you don't think it's traumatic, you think it's part of life. You know, I was in conversation with another, this was a Christian pastor. He said, men growing up in Chicago, because that's where he's from, that have absent father, that's the equivalent of wartime post-traumatic PTSD. That's the equivalent. Now, we don't think that's the case.
No.
But when you don't know how to lead, you don't know how to lead. So you fall into something accidentally thinking you're leading, thinking you're going to tell the woman to clean the house when you get home, when she got 3 kids pulling to her. I remember way back when we was rearing up the kids, Christian. Who was it? Christian?
I don't know the story.
Okay. So here I am coming home from what I think is a busy work, and man, it's probably Christian, my daughter. And so the house is a mess. And I'm thinking, honey, babe, I've been working all day. I mean, I know you're here at the house, bring the house, take care of the house. Daughter went all over the place. And I remember her saying, honey, I just cleaned the front room. I just did this. I just did that. No sooner than you walked in the door, 3 minutes before, this little girl went through and took all the toys. Now, I'm thinking, well, you know, this is your job. Until one day.
It's probably both of them at that point.
Yeah, until one day, I was home, and she had to take care of some business. So I think I was off that day, and I was tending to the kids all day. When she came to the door, I just about fell on her feet, and I said, baby, I'm sorry. I had no idea how much energy these little kids are the most. I apologize.
Yes, sir.
You know how many times I apologize to my wife?
And that right there is one of my favorite things about him.
Man.
Is that he does not have a problem saying, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
He doesn't, he's always willing to grow and learn.
Yes.
I love that about him because so many men that I come in contact with are just very rigid. They feel like if they, you know, apologize or change, that is, you know, I don't know, they're being defeated or something.
And I've apologized to our daughter and son for various things, but I missed it. Baby, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
Me for myself, I didn't want to leave tension on the table.
Yeah.
If I wasn't wrong, I was the type, I'm coming back, baby. Look, I can't leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't lay in the bed with my wife and she'd be mad and I don't say nothing. Yeah. That was like the worst thing to me. You know what I'm saying? She's not speaking to me. I'd be like, look, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because I love my wife. And I wanted to see her in her natural habitat, her natural mood.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't like when she was upset. My love was like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
You know, and being a man, and this is what kept me alive. Prayer kept me sharp to my wife's needs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How to redirect certain things when they come.
Yeah.
What would you say to the men that don't know how to handle their woman's insecurities?
Oh, wow. Wow. We can go on a 3-week discussion just trying to answer that. I mean, okay, I think we got one aspect, prayer, being sensitive in the Ruach.
Mm-hmm.
But then understanding how your wife communicates. You have to understand. Man, I'm going to give you something. This is free. We're not going to run this the other Suga's training seminar. business aspect. Men, hear me. If your wife comes in the house or comes in the room and she says, how are you doing? Here's what she's saying. She wants you to ask her, how is she doing?
Come on now.
Women will tell you if you hear. He either have an ear to let him hear.
Yes, sir.
If your woman says, and it still takes me a long time to get this. If your woman, well, I say woman, pardon, I say wife. If your wife says, what do you have a taste for? You know what she's saying? She's saying she's hungry.
Yes.
Man, I want you to hear this. You have to understand how the woman species talks.
Yes.
If she comes and she sits next to you and she rubs your shoulder, in most cases, she wants you to rub her shoulder. Now, I'm still learning this thing. I'm still learning equal to this very moment.
Yes, you are, Padawan.
Right. If the woman brings up some ideas about decorating the backyard, she wants to decorate the backyard. And she wants you to be involved. Like creatively involved. She wants you to think.
Yes,
and
sir.
Men get rigid. We get very, very focused. That's our gift.
Yes, sir. My problem was that.
Yeah, we can get focused. Women can multitask.
Yes.
And we have to understand their ability to switch from one little area to another, and they can do it almost effortlessly.
Yes, they can.
So let me get back to the question. So what can we say to men? What I can say to men is please make an effort to listen. Do not come to any conclusion. Do not pre-answer your wife. If she has a conversation about something, let her finish, and then think about what she's saying and what she's not saying. And brother, it's work.
Yes.
It's a whole bunch of work.
Here's a little thought as well. This man tends to think when he's listening to me that it just hurts.
It hurts bad.
It hurts. But let me let you in on a little secret.
Yes, ma'am.
It hurt us a lot of times to listen to y'all too.
I know.
We're just bad at covering it up because we're trying to walk in love. But there are times when I'm screaming inside. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Another business idea.
Wow.
I go with him through this to the end of his business concept.
When you were training or learning your certifications for computers, getting ready to take all these tests, you would get in the car and you would just start spouting off all this computer technology stuff. I had no clue what you were talking about, and I did not care at all. But I understood that what you were doing was trying to get that information in your head.
God.
You know what I'm saying? So I would just turn you off and just start thinking about something else and let you roll. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
It's the same, you know.
So let me ask you, my sister.
Okay.
But let me put it to you this way. We got a lot of sisters out there. Shout out to my sister Kanal. That's my sis. I love her.
Hey, Kanal, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, flash to the ground out there. Love them sisters. Listen, as a man, how would you, let me put it there. Here it is. How do you redirect your man's day when he comes in the home? How do you redirect him when he's had that rough day? Nothing's working. All hell and broke loose. He frustrated to the roof. He comes in and goes straight to the room and he just sits on the side of the bed. Sometimes it's happened to us. Mm-hmm. You know, nothing fell through for us today. We praying, ain't nothing worked. Nothing is like, man, I'm hot, I'm heated. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. What do you say?
Well, let me preface this by saying everybody's different. Yes, so ma'am. That's where you got to know your man or your woman.
Say it again.
You know, you got to know them. But
yes, ma'am.
It's just really the first key is just recognizing that. Because sometimes when somebody comes in with some type of energy, you like, and you feel like it's being directed at you, you just have to understand like this is where he is. Yeah. And so it's more of just relax, just listen, let him vent or whatever, and maybe try to listen to what it is that he's saying. If there's any way I can, give a word of wisdom, then I do. But then it's just, honey, you are amazing. Don't focus on this one point in time. You are an amazing man. You're smart, you're talented, you got businesses, and this is just one thing that's going on right now. You gonna be all right. You got a wife, you got kids, you doing all right. So I try to refocus him on the bigger picture.
Yes.
The good things that are going on.
God.
And because that's what I would want, to bring you out of that little thing that you're focusing on.
And that happens. That happens in relationships. And being able to build someone up, baby, you're doing real estate, baby, you help with the IT company, you're helping our daughter with the baking business, helping our son in his real estate studies. And you're pouring into someone to help to let them know that they got so much yet still to offer. So don't let this one thing disrupt the rest of your life because it happened. Granted, we all gonna go ahead.
I just thought of when we were starting out, we had a lot of financially challenging times, and there would be sometimes we're just paying this bill, then it's like, and we had this little thing we used to say, inch by inch.
Won't he do it? Inch by inch.
And make us giggle and laugh because it really was, and then we say smidge by smidge.
Then we got the smidge by smidge.
Because sometimes it just felt like you're just barely moving, but it was just little things like that between yourself to remind you we gonna keep going. It doesn't matter what's going on, we're gonna keep going. Man, you're not gonna stop.
Man, listen, if you're gonna go through it with your friend, with your spouse, your lover.
Yes.
Go through that stuff together, because I'm telling you, the hardship will not last forever. The hardship does not define who you are.
Yes.
The hardship does not define. The hardship is just one little small piece of the rest of your life. And you have to define how that piece, where's it placed? How does it fit? How does it make you? And often we take these little small things and we amplify it. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna get through this. When we lost out, I'm gonna get through that.
So when you are dating, when you are looking to see who you want as your partner in life,
yes, ma'am.
You want somebody that you can feel, you can be vulnerable with, that you can, that's your friend, that you can let your hair down. Like I never walk into a room and feel like I have to be on. And even as my kids were growing up, I would tell them, when you come home, this is a safe place. Yeah. This is a place of love. Yeah. We get beat up on the world when we're out in the world enough. So when you come home, we don't do that to each other. This is about it. And even to this day, at 20 and 23, they're encouraging each other.
Yes.
You know, well, you need to do this with your business. You should do this, you know, just encouraging each other. And so it's like we try to have that entire as an atmosphere. And that was one reason why we didn't allow a lot of people to come and stay with us.
Hallelujah.
Even to this day, it's like
spirits.
And some people take offense to it. It's not meant to be offensive. It's just our way of protecting the
you gotta protect the space.
Yeah, the atmosphere in our home.
I love it. Say that again.
Yeah, you have to. If you don't protect it, if you just allow anything in and out, you feel all of that when people come in your home and they leave.
Man,
you feel all of that.
And it's crazy you say that, because I like what you said in the beginning, DJ YOEL, how you protected your home from even from family.
Sure, yeah.
Everybody got an opinion on how you should do. Man, shut up and get out of my way.
That's right.
See, my wife had a thing with me. She's like, baby, you too hard. When we first got married, she's like, baby, you too hard. You too hard. Folks scared. They're scared to talk to you too hard. I said, listen, I don't like everybody in my business, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool on that. You know, I don't mind mom and dad, you know what I'm saying? But everybody else keep them on my business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wasn't one of those ones that like to give my information up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just was not like that. I wasn't gonna just volunteer. We're going to do everything. No,
right.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Right.
But I want to add to another point you said. I love how you encouraged your husband. Because I remember an incident. Me and my wife, we were married 20 years. She passed away in December of 2020. She said to me one day, we were homeless. We were living in a hotel. Mm-hmm. And I just had a real bad day. And she looked at me. And it's what she said inspired me to get back on my grind. Mm. She said, look, she sung a song to me. And she used to sing this to me. And I used to ask her to sing this to me. She used to sing, "It Won't Be This Way Always."
Yeah.
I'm talking about she was a very anointed woman. She would sing that to me. And I would literally fall on her and weep.
Yeah.
When you talk about that vulnerability, I had that with her.
Yeah.
She went back. We talked about my past. We talked about what I come up through. I lost my mother and father at an early age. I was in the streets for a long time. I sold dope. I robbed folks. I did all that. But I was able to be vulnerable with her and talk about certain things that were in my past. And I would be like, she'd be like, hey, you did that? I'd be like, yeah. She started laughing like, you crazy. It'll break the ice and I'm able to sell more.
Yeah.
She didn't look at me like, you nuts. What you doing here? She was like, boy, you nuts. You crazy, boy. I said, yeah. But I was vulnerable with her. Like, in a sense, I can let the hair down that I didn't have. I didn't have to sit there and worry about she gonna trip because I'm telling her this. Yeah. And I remember telling her, I got frustrated one day. I was like, man, look, man. I said, man, you can't just be blowing through the money like that, man. We had started our business in 2011, and you who were blessed us. I said, look, you got to calm down. She said, look, go make more money. That's exactly what she said. That's right. Yeah. I looked at her and said, wow, how rude. She don't know, go make more money.
Yes.
Because I understand she had every right to say that to me.
Yeah.
Because she'd been through everything with me.
Yeah.
To this point right here, she had supported everything that I attempted to do.
Yeah.
And it's good that you have the relationship that you have to talk to each other and explain what's going on. You know, a lot of us that are in relationships now are so shut up. We are so constipated with frustration and hurts and pains that all we do is pass the hallway with each other. What you mean? I feel, girl, what you doing? Come here. I just can't do I was like, girl, because I was in love with her.
Yes.
So it didn't make sense for me to hold on to it for days on end. My pops, she used to say, look, if y'all don't go past, quit talking to each other for 2 days, that's the devil. One of y'all need to be delivered.
Yeah.
Come on back over here. We're going to cast that devil out you so you can start talking to each other.
Exactly.
Literally. And most folks don't understand the enemy is looking to taint your marriage with certain little things. The scripture says the small fox that spoils the vine.
Exactly.
We as men get geared to the bigger picture but the wife go lackings in the small areas that keep her nourished in her home.
Mm-hmm.
The scripture says the small fox that spoils the vine.
Mm-hmm.
But we out, man, I got to get the bill. I got to pay the bill. I'm on the grind, baby. I'm trying. This I was. And when I'm trying to get it. She's like, look, she shut my computer down. Look, spend some time with me. I said, I was working on something. I don't care. She took the computer, put it in the room, and said, come in here and sit down and watch this movie with me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm serious, Woods. Call me by my last name. Never call me by my first. Baby or Woods. Come in here and sit down right now and watch this movie with me. You're not going to do me like that. I'd be like, I'm just funny. I don't care. I'd be like, all right. I end up on the couch and then I don't want to see that. Look at this. This is a good movie. And she had talked me through the whole movie, break me out of what I be in to bring me where she was. And I loved it. I'm like, girl, you something else. She's like, I told you, I ain't gonna let you be like that with me. You ain't gonna do me like that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
All praise to Yahuwah. Thank Yah for a woman that you have that loves you enough to bring you where she is.
Yeah.
And don't let you stay in the despair that you have.
Yeah.
I think we always identify that as we'll say to each other, I don't feel connected.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah, it's like I don't feel connected to you. What's up, babe? Something.
What's going, you know, and it's maybe one of us is in our head about something, you know, and it may not even be about the other person, or it may be, but it's just like you're in your head or you're working and you're in your little world, and it's like we don't feel that connection. And it's like sometimes when people feel like they don't feel that connection, I think they take it as we're growing apart, or, you know, this is over or whatever. But that's a sign when you sense that you need to go fix it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go get reconnected.
Yeah.
You know, if a plug comes out the wall and your computer goes off, you don't just be like, oh, it's broke. Plug it back in.
Yeah.
So same thing with your relationship.
I think dating is so necessary. You know, it's okay to go to comedy club, brews. Okay, it's okay to have some fun.
Come on now.
It's okay to go to movies with the wife. It's okay to go to jazz club.
You ain't gotta have fringes on everywhere you go.
That's right. It's okay to suit up, take her by the hand, and give a little romantic dance and kiss her on the neck. It's okay.
Come on
There's
now.
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. And what that does, it adds spice to the life. It really does.
That's crazy you say that. My wife wasn't a public affectionate person.
Okay.
So I started grabbing her hand and I looked to her. She looked at me. I remember in Walmart, she was walking real fast and she was going and I said, I'm gonna keep up with her. I got right behind her and she turned around and she looked at me and we were lip to lip and I kissed her. She's like, I said, yeah. Uh-huh. She's like, what are you doing? I said, yeah, give me another one. I ain't moving till you give me another one. I'm not moving till you give me another one. She said, come on, Woods, I want to get in. I said, give me another kiss. I was staying right here.
That's right.
And she was like, oh, give me a kiss. And she kissed me. So then I was breaking her out of that because it's times I'm looking at you, we in public, and I'm looking, girl, just give me a kiss. That's all you got to do. I ain't saying slap me down, but just put your lips on my lips.
Yeah.
Let me feel you.
Yeah.
Let me feel you.
Yeah.
Let me touch you.
That's right.
Come here, girl. She be walking by me. We be in Walmart. I grab that butt so quick. She like,
give me a high five, Elder.
I got you, bam. That's what I'm talking about.
Man.
And she be like, we're in public. I said, I don't care. You mine.
That's it.
And she be like, boy, come on. I be like, come on, I'm coming right with you. Yes, I am.
That's right.
I'm following you. I'm your puppy. Come on, you can't get with me. All praise. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness, man. And there's nothing wrong with showing that level of affection towards your spouse. You know, men to women, certainly women to men. But you gotta know, man, baby, I'm looking at you. You fine as all day long. I love you, everything that's within my being.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know that. And it's okay to verbalize that and to show physical affection towards that.
Yes, come on.
So I would say dating the spouse, if you can do it weekly, if possible. I know it's maybe a little difficult with kids and some work schedules, but if you can just set maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours, or an evening just with the spouse away from kids That way you can connect, whether it's watching a movie, whether it's an intimate session,
Wow.
whether it's rubbing one another's feet, whether it's a bubble bath. You got to keep that fire aflame, because here's what can happen. All it takes is one thought that's not captured or murdered unto Yahusha. And man, you are off on something else.
Let me
if you aren't satisfied intimately, and I don't mean just sex, I mean intimately, I mean affectionately, I mean sexual. All it takes is one fleeting thought of some dude with a nice suit on and cologne, and all of a sudden your mind is gone, if anything, for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and you got to bring it into substance captivity. But when your mind, as it relates to intimacy, is on your wife,
yes,
that's a powerful thing. Women, when all you think about all day is your man, and you can't wait to get home to him,
man,
and you're a Hebrew couple, that's powerful.
Yes, sir.
That's powerful. Your affection is towards him. Your affection is towards her. You don't have any thoughts.
Come on, man. You teaching, you preaching, Doc. Look, I'm a lamb back off that. I'm a lamb back off that. I know me. Like what old boy said in the movie, he said, I'm Mr. Romance. You know, I had a thing, I bought cards all the time. I don't care where I was. If I went in Walgreens that day, I went straight to the card section. Even if I was picking up medicine or picking up some, I listen, fellas, I bought pads too. I bought them all the time.
Yeah.
And I would get a card because that was the thing. I expressed my love in writing as well. I used to write her letters. I used to write poems to her. I used to write things. I used to express my love in writing to her.
I need to get back to that because I used to do poems. I need to get back to that.
It's all right.
And I would pick up cards. I still got a lot of the cards that I gave her. You know what I'm saying? That I gave her. I gave many cards over the years. That was my thing with her.
Yeah.
And I say this, when you talk about spending time, I remember we had always wanted the timeshare. And we go to Vegas. We was going to Vegas quite a bit. Because I had to go to conferences in Vegas because I was in lead generation. And I'd be up in Vegas and man, the dudes wanted the timeshare was just outrageous, man. I'm like, dude, I'm not paying you that, man. We go do all this. And she wanted one so bad. And the Most High made it available one day. So we ended up getting a timeshare. So cheap, it was ridiculous, Aki. And next thing I know, she's like, look, you got to hurry up and pay this so we can go. You got to go. This became our thing. And you had to stay in 7-day blocks. So we would go. I think in 2020, we went like every month almost, man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. It's getting to me around here. I'm ready to go. Yeah. Get the kids. Let's go. Let's go. And that time would be our time to reflect with each other. That 7 days, man, it did a wonder for us. Being together. We was laid up in there, man. The jacuzzi tub in the room was so huge. Me and her in the jacuzzi tub with the bubbles, we chilling. We got our wine. And I'm like, man, I'm a big old 6'5" Negro. And I'm in the tub with you. Like, girl, this is we having a good time laughing. We in the bed. We ain't got out the bed for 2 days. I cook naked in the kitchen. Like,
there we go.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on now. Kids went over to grandpa's room. My dad and mom came with us all the time. We made sure they had a room. So y'all got to get out. We finna get it down. So y'all, you know what I'm saying? So, it was our time. And I made that's what she wanted. Yeah. And she enjoyed that more than anything. Yes. She was like, I'm ready to go, baby. I'm like, we just came back. We was there last month. I'm ready to go. That's how she would say. I'd be like, all right, baby, give me a week. I'm ready to go. I'd be like, oh, you serious? I'm going to make the reservation. You going with me or you not? I said, come on, let's roll.
And that personal connection, that's the level of intimacy that I was referring to that you've tapped on. And I'm sure I'm glad you share those level of details because married or single, you need to hear this. This is the kind of stuff that will keep you on fire for your spouse. Well, my wife, because check this out. When I got something good on and I got looking good and I got some smell good on, she'll do a double take. Where you going? I'm going to the kitchen. Come here.
Not without me.
Come here.
I'm going to the kitchen
We got the
too.
same type of we have the same room.
I'm going in the kitchen too.
What you gonna yeah, I'm about to make a little vegan sandwich. You want a vegan sandwich? I want a vegan sandwich too. And so the thing is, man, keeping that fire for individuals that are single, looking for a spouse. There's nothing wrong with desiring a spouse. Look to have fun.
Please,
If you can get with some folks that have wisdom that can share with you some very delicate things to keep the romance on fire, to keep the intimacy on fire, for men to know how to what's the delicate word? I want to be very delicate. For men to know how to take care of your wife, and for wives to know how to take care of your soon-to-be man. It's good to have knowledge going into that. So we're talking about knowledge that's imparted. We're not talking about prayer and revelation. That we ain't talking about. There's a time for prayer, there's a time for revelation, there's a time for fasting. But when you're coming into a relationship with someone that you're learning, you're growing with, there's some things you have to go into that with. You have to know how to communicate. You have to know when to touch and how to touch. You have to know when to back up space.
And you better know when the period coming.
Yeah, and there are times when my wife will say, "Babe, I need some time." And there's times
because you Negroes will try to touch on them and they on their period. Switch your butt down.
You better know what her period. You better know.
Trying to touch on her and you don't even know she on her period, you dummy.
You gonna get hurt.
Come on now. Hey, listen. Why? I'm gonna say this. Why your hormones going off now? And she on her period. Why wasn't they going off when she wasn't? And you was laying there and wasn't touching her.
Yeah.
So now when she come on, you ready to jump on her bones. But what was you at before a week ago?
That's right.
See, we got to get to the bottom of things, man. And I love what you said. And I don't like. Listen, my mama said, listen, don't beat around the bush. Get up in there and beat that bush out so you can get everything up out of there. Chase everything up out of there.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Don't let nothing sit up in there. Chase everything up out of there.
And you start that off at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like just before you even get married, with the talking and the communicating and being real and honest and learning how to have debated or heated conversations and still understand that, okay, we still gonna be all right, even though you expressed your views and I didn't like it.
Oh man,
we're gonna be all right.
When it comes to those heated discussions, and you will have some of those heated discussions, but you have to understand that you're trying to bring some resolve.
Yes, sir.
That has to be the premise of why you're getting so passionate about what it is you believe in. My wife gets passionate. I get real passionate. We're both passionate people talking strongly about something. Yeah. But it's not to be a divide or a demise. It's not to hurt. It's not to shatter. It's not to break. It's to get to some kind of resolution, whatever that resolution may be. It could be a small, big.
And I think if you're truly in love with that person,
yes,
like you understand, well, that person, I can't hurt him without hurting me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You're one.
Yeah.
We're one.
Absolutely.
And so if I do say or do something that hurts him, it hurts me. So, you have to keep that in mind when you're arguing. And
that's crazy. So let me pull out another heavy topic. I got to pull this out because it needs to be said. A lot of us have a problem when I'm not saying even this is for when you get married. Okay. A lot of us don't know how to communicate to make love or talk about what pleases our spouse. We get in them. You want to get down and make love to it, but you don't want to ask what please you.
Yeah.
What, baby, is that cool? What can I do better? What is this? Let's say it because I remember my dad said, listen, son, let me give you some advice. I'm not finna go what he told me, but what he told me worked.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? It took it to new levels and higher heights. And when you want to get technical, and y'all, for all you scripture folk, higher heights and deeper depths. We were skiing off the boat. We was running around the rain. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
Yeah. I think that you hit on the main ingredient, or one of the main ingredients there is your father being able to have that conversation with you.
Yeah.
And we just don't have enough of that happening
Yeah.
with, you know, the older generation sharing things, you know, in a spiritual or way, not in a worldly ratchet way.
Come on, man. We ain't
but
no
just in a spiritual way to help guide and, you know, new couples as they go into that area. I know I didn't. We made a lot of mistakes. Like I said, we were 19 and 20.
Yes.
You know, and I was a virgin, so I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to even be able to tell him what I wanted.
And I thought
so. But we had fun figuring it out.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I would venture to say any person that's going into a relationship under the covenant of the Most High, being married, I would say this rather boldly. You probably have no idea what you're doing. And I say that respectfully until you begin to understand this is a different person than you. They have a whole different appetite. A foot massage for one person may take them over the moon and back.
Yes, sir. Come on, then you speaking,
and a grabbing of the ear and a kiss on the cheek might take you over the moon and back.
Come on, so kiss on the neck. Yeah. When the last time you explored her body? Let's get real. When the last time do you know what that birthmark is on her body?
Yeah.
Come on, have you been down the back of her legs? Have you been all the way down to the Achilles tendon? Have you looked at the cut that's on the bottom of her foot? Have you looked between her toes? Where's your sensitive spot on her body?
We gonna work on that one.
We gonna work on the toes.
If you don't know, if you don't explore,
you need to know. You need to know what's between there.
No, man.
No, that's right. Listen,
because go ahead.
He was definitely, he's always the one. And it took me a while to get used to this, but he'd always be like, did you enjoy that? You know, because, you know, he come out giving himself high fives all the time. But then he want to know, well, how did that feel? Did you like this? Did you like it when I did that? And at first it was like very uncomfortable for me to have those conversations. But I got used to it. And I was grateful that he did that. I'm grateful that he cared enough. And it definitely makes things better when you know what that other person wants, you know, and what they don't want.
And I would say, men, husbands, or soon to be husbands, if you come into the relationship, ask your wife what pleased her or what didn't please her.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta be open to receive whatever that advisement may be, or whatever it is that pleased or didn't please. And the same thing with women. You can't always emotionalize a man's response because he's often going to take you factual information. That doesn't mean you're bad. That doesn't mean he doesn't love you. That doesn't mean this and that. It's just factual information. So when you're going on 30 years, you want to go for another 30 years. Right?
Exactly.
You want to constantly build. You know, there are times when I may have a rough day. I'll lay my head on my wife's lap, and she'll just kind of stroke my ear or the side of my head. And that is the most, I can't even explain what that means.
Man, come on now.
And she might be watching TV, whatever.
Yes.
But the posture of being humble and putting your head in your wife's lap is a very vulnerable state.
Yes.
For your wife to speak affirmations and blessings over you. You're a good man.
Yes.
Thank you for taking care of me and the kids. I love that you like to travel. I like that you're a man of the Most High. You're open to being, asking for forgiveness. She's speaking into me. And so, men, I would encourage you, learn to be sensitive towards your wife such that you're vulnerable.
Yes.
You can't always expect her to be vulnerable, and she will be, she is. But you have to cry in her lap on occasion.
Man, come on.
You have to let her know you had a rough day. You don't know how you're going to make it. It's so, men, I understand speaking faith, but it's okay, baby. I don't know how we're going to eat. I don't know what's going on with the business. I don't know what's going on with this client. We've had some business opportunities that would have set us straight.
Sound like me.
And them things just fell through the cracks. And you're thinking, what in the world happened? and you gotta confide, you gotta take comfort somewhere. I might as well take comfort in what she can provide. Head on the lap, intimate engagement, long conversation, rubbing her feet. Sometimes she just wants a foot massage, her back massage.
Yeah.
That's all she wants.
That's awesome.
That's all she wants.
Come on now.
those good things, those ups and downs is what builds your relationship, because now 30 years later, we look back over all those little, there's so many things that we've been through that only you and I know about.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you, Elder Suka, could attest to this. Like, I know if I lost him, like, there's certain things that I would see that would make me laugh, or things that places I would go that nobody else would have that memory except for him. Yeah. So I can share that with everybody else. And those type of things really bind you together, and build your relationship.
And I think men that have been tempted, and all men have been tempted. So when you understand the value that she provides, separate just of herself, and then the value she adds to you, you want to protect that. It's like, how can I have this thought of lust, or this thought of adultery, or thought of whatever come through my mind, and then not subject it, because I have such a love, such a passion, love for my wife, toward the even thought of that is just kind of, it's a repulsive. It's like,
sickening.
Yeah, when you watch your wife push out your children,
man,
that it's like there's nothing else that could walk by me that would entertain me, because this woman pushed out life.
Yes, sir. Let me hit this question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Salaki, for cutting you off, Aki. That's a beautiful thing right there. I literally cried on my kids when my wife was. I felt vulnerable when she was going through labor. I felt like my emotions were all over. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what can I do? What do I do, man? What's wrong? And I was just like,
you've done enough.
You've done your part. Step away.
I like, wow, But what I want to say is, I'm gonna make a statement before I ask the question. The statement, me, when I was with my Isha, we were together for 20 years. If men be honest, you feel secure when you're with your woman.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When I got in the bed, and I laid next to my Isha, and I put my feet, the first thing she would ask me when I get in the bed like clockwork, give me your feet. That was the first thing she said. Give me your feet. I could be dead asleep, gone snoring. She would give me your feet. Give me your feet. She would just come in from watching TV or something, or with her mama or something, and she'll wait, give me your feet. And so, but that was my security. Like, yeah, girl, you want me or something. I know you want them feet, and and that brought me joy. That brought me security. That was fulfilling to me.
Yeah.
Tell me your most fulfilling. I can't say it's so many, but give me one of your greatest fulfilling moments with her.
I like holding her at night. I really enjoy holding Chantel. I mean, I really enjoy holding. Tight, real tight, just a real tight hug. Hold her like that for minutes on end, just real tight.
Yes.
I like when we do trips. We try to do vacation as much as we can. We got one coming up, bless the Most High. Like when we went to Puerto Rico.
Oh, I love that, man. You messed me up.
And we stayed in Puerto Rico, and then we went to Old San Juan. Then we went to this very far place south of Puerto Rico.
I was with you.
I'm sharing it with the world, right? We went to Camels, and that had like a hot spring, a natural hot spring. So we sat in there. There was other people there.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that really got to me is those long drives. And the Puerto Rican music is so flavorful, so festive.
That jazz, man, that jazz.
And the tracks, not all tracks, but the songs are so long. I mean, we're accustomed like a 3-minute, 4-minute song. The DJ listen all the time. Well, in Puerto Rico, you get these cuts that will last like 12 minutes. And we driving. You know what I'm saying? And we're on these long drives. We're talking like, goodness, 80 miles before the next stop, and we stop and eat, and we take another 60-mile drive way out and see the scenic, the mountainous terrain, the oceans, and you won't see a house separated by miles and miles. And it would be those times that in our conversation that I would cherish the most. I mean,
yeah,
that's what are your thoughts? What are your most intimate memories?
I feel the closest to you probably same is like I love just being in your arms, and it just feels like everything just melts away.
wow.
It feels like I'm reconnected, like I'm home. Like you just feel like home to me.
Woo! Man, that's some heavy stuff right
So
there.
it doesn't
You like
matter.
the speedboats? She loves doing
He
speedboats.
want to talk about vacation.
I'm sorry, because she always talks about when she goes on vacation, let's do a speedboat. She
I
loves being
like the
on
water.
the water
I like being on the water.
and them fast
Me
boats.
too. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but that's just vacation. Like that's not like my
Okay.
space with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I like it whenever I have like your undivided attention.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I like.
Boy, you.
See that? See
What?
the post there? Sister Mickey, thank you. Shalom.
People, this is something. Hey, this once again, this is Suka Ben Maccabees for Break Faith TV and the Break Faith Marriage. This is something that you can have.
Yes.
This is not something that's not tangible.
Yeah.
This is something very much tangible with you and someone that the Most High has for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Are you ready for something like this?
Yes.
You know, are you prepared for something like this? Are you ready to come in and give you 100%? I ain't say 98. I need all of you.
Yes.
You know, and I told her, I said, look, I need all of you.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to share. I need all of you.
Yeah.
She's like, boy, you crazy. I said, listen. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing over here. Listen. And like you said, divorce is not on you. I told you ain't going nowhere.
No.
I got low jack on you.
I gotta, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, Aki.
What do you think, as far as emotionally, to me, what do you think the greatest need that I needed?
Well, when we first started out, and we, of course we were young, it was, you were just going through a lot, like, because you were the only provider. Because I worked for the first 6 years, but when we started having children, then I came home. And so you were out there doing that by yourself. And so I think that is, to me, the most, when you needed me the most emotionally. Because just being that young, being in corporate America, owning your own business, going through all of those different things and just finding your way, like you would come home and just need to process things. And so just being that sounding board that, to talk things through, give you ideas, strategize, encourage you, just kind of trying to be wherever you needed me to be when you came. And of course I was a stay-at-home mom. So that helped. Yeah. I don't think that, and this is me, that I could have had the bandwidth to raise the kids the way we wanted to and to be what you needed me to be at that time. To be working outside of the home. I just don't think, me personally, I wouldn't have been able to give as much as I did across the board.
I think, looking back, I think the greatest need was for me not to fix, but instead to listen. That was hard because I didn't understand how to listen. But I would hear, but then I try to mend or fix because that's just how men are designed.
Yeah, like when I told you need to spend more time with the kids or something like that. Yeah. And you were like, you took it as I was saying you weren't a good father. I'm like, where'd you get that? Not
you see
even
that man thinking. That's that man thinking.
That's not what I did.
I'm working, I'm providing for the home, I'm paying the cars.
He went down the list.
I went down the list, but all she was saying is that I just needed to spend just a little more time with the kids. And then when I finally got it, I was like, oh, I'll just take them to the Chisholm Museum and hang out with them and give them some of the bananas.
And so we started the dating our kids. And so just a special time that it's just you and me. Let's connect. Because the same way we try to stay connected with each other, we try to stay connected with our kids. And even to this day, they are crazy about their dad. They have so much respect for him and what he says. So, you know, kudos
I understand.
You
know, my mother told me this. She said, son. Then she told me and my wife. She said, son, she said, baby, look, I'm gonna tell you, she called me Werewolf. She said, I'm gonna tell you and Werewolf with this right now. She said, them kids you see right there, they gonna grow up and leave you.
Mm-hmm.
So what you and him gonna have?
That's right.
I was like, huh? And I didn't, and she said, I'm gonna say it again. Them right there gonna grow up and leave you. And it's just gonna be y'all. What are you gonna have?
That's right.
See, a lot of us, we're pouring to the kids, but we won't pour into our wife like that.
That's right.
True.
We won't pour into our husband like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the total opposite with you guys. Yeah. And that's what's the beauty of it. And I tell people, listen, you have an example here.
Mm-hmm.
Take this example, run with it, build off of it. You see the type of woman, mother, entrepreneur she is. That could be you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see who DJ YOEL is. This man is one of the most humble, giving, loving brothers I know. All I know. Mm-hmm. Me and you, who can I be talking about? And we'll say your name, bro. We'll say, man, DJ. I said, man, I love that brother, man. I love DJ YOEL. Me and you, who can I be on the phone hours and we'll mention you, man. And the love and the smile and the joy that come to our heart from just mentioning you. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, I love DJ YOEL, man. That's my bro, right? I love that bro, man.
Hey,
if anybody got something different to say, you liar.
Bless the Most High.
You know, and I appreciate y'all. Any parting words, man, that you want to leave with the singles and with the married folks, or with the single moms that want to be married, or the single dads that want to be married?
Oh my goodness. There's so much you can answer with that.
Part 2?
Yeah, I'm good for part 2.
Sure.
You good for part 2? We'll find out where your schedule is. But in short, I would probably say understand and identify with what you want. Understand what you want. Husband, soon to be husband, understand what you want. Soon to be wife, understand what you want. And at the same time, don't fear building. Don't fear building. You can build a business together. You can build a home together. You can build, if you get kids separately, you can merge those families. You
Find
can build
somebody that's going in the same direction that you're going in.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with growing and making mistakes in your growth. Because we made a whole bunch of mistakes.
Ooh, Lord, talk about it.
Grow together. Because obviously, getting married at 19 and now being 49, we are not the same people. You know what I'm saying? So, but you give each other the space to grow, to evolve, you know, and
understand that there's times to pray, and then there's time to get into some real deep discussion. Like we got to handle this. We got to handle why you have this sexual addiction. We got to handle why you have this insecurity. We got to handle why you have these emotional outbursts. Where's the core? Where's the anchor at? And prayer is good, but sometimes you got to have the deep conversation.
Come on now. Why you hurting like that?
Why you hurt? Why you respond the way you do?
Man, we can't leave this here. Hold on. You stirring the gumbo up, man. You stirring the gumbo with no pork and no crab, no shrimps and all that, man. We got that. Man. Listen, when you talk about people,
Yeah.
you don't know. People have never really confessed where they've been and what they've been through. So when you even see a woman, she's looking good. Some of them, they're looking good. They're strutting good. They're doing this, but yet and still, what's her background?
Yeah.
What's her background naturally so and spiritually so? You know, because we have a lot of hurt people, man. We have a lot of hurt people, and it's a shame that we're taking on people without even vetting them.
Right.
Because the lust of the flesh is so prominent right now, and people are so fearful of being by themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I want to be when all this go off. I want to be with somebody, but no, we're just choosing bodies.
Yeah.
We're just choosing bodies. What would you say to the ones that are trying to rush into this, and they're really not listening? But for now, you have their attention, and they're listening, but they're steady trying to rush. Their flesh is burning up. They're steady trying to rush. They're steady trying to make it happen with anybody they can.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's kind of the stage. That's the climate of where we are in this social media space now. And so there's a lot of stimuli, whether it's commercial with a woman, you know, with her back shown and shampooing her hair with some kind of sexual appetite, or whether it's a man running with, you know, speedos running across the beach representing whatever, hormone, whatever, you know, whatever they said you see. And so there's a lot of stimuli that's introduced to the minds of a lot of people. So to capture some of that appetite, obviously having a lifestyle prayer, having a lifestyle fasting, being focused on the word, and then something that's practical is being active in a sport. Now that's the practical piece. Being active in a sport that will help relieve some of that sexual tension you may have. And the same thing would apply, I think, to a woman being active in a sport or being something where mind can be stimulated other than what would suggest some kind of sexual appetite.
And I feel like you really need to get that under control before you get married.
You better.
Because you're going through with a skewed appetite. The man can have a strong sex desire, and the woman may not necessarily be able to satisfy that desire. So you kind of have to get some of that under control, at least understand where the desire craving is coming from.
Yeah. Exactly. You better get out that pornography.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I was saying. Fasting, prayer, and the word.
Yeah.
Fasting, prayer, and the word. Get back to the basics. Whenever you feel like your spirit is out of control, it's just anxiety, or your mind is out of control, just thoughts everywhere. Prayer, fasting, and the word.
Right.
And sometimes you have to, if you can't just do but a day, get off social media, get off, whatever, and, whatever you're seeing, hearing, anything that you're, taking into your spirit, and get that to calm down so that you can commune with the Father and and get yourself together.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have found the right one, let's just say you don't want to get into a relationship to mess it up.
Yes, ma'am.
And I would also say, I know you didn't necessarily ask this, but I would also say,
go ahead.
If our men have an inclination toward getting angry or having outbursts, or you don't want to carry that into a relationship, because you don't want now your spouse to be a punching bag. You don't want her,
or for you to get beat up.
Yeah, right. Right. Because our women, they're delicate as they should be. They require comfort. They require love. They require compassion. They require support. And you don't want to make her feel insecure because you're insecure. You don't want to make her feel broken because you're broken. You don't want to make her feel lost because you're lost. There's a lot of men that come into relationships. There's a lot of men that don't know who they are. And I need to say something almost immediately behind that.
Yes, sir.
It's not because it's always the man's fault. Because he had no one to impart into him who he is. Now, to say that's a whole different conversation, Elder. That could be a whole different, interview or discussion. Because if a man doesn't know who he is, how can he give identification to his wife? or his family or his kids. How can my son know who he is if I'm not here? I tell him who he is.
Yes.
I tell my son he's smart. I tell him he's brilliant. I tell him that he's a character. So and this is over years and years and years. And so if you have a man that has not had that disposition of being defined, and he takes it into a relationship, you can run into a very difficult situation because if a man gets upset, all of a sudden he's snapping on the wife. The wife is not your punching bag ever.
Ever.
Man.
You gotta love her.
Yeah, I agree with what you say when you say that son. I remember when I changed my name, and my son said, "You changed your name, Dad?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I'm Suka Jr."
There we go.
I said, I'm Junior. I'm Suka Jr. I didn't have to go tell him because I had been preparing him and giving him the word and building him up. I would sit my sons in front of me and I would lay my hands on them and I would pray and I would cry out to the Most High with my hands on them. In between my legs, I said, "Come here and sit down between me. Then I'm finna get on your knees. I'm finna lay hands on you and I'm finna speak over you." Yeah. And I would practice this and I still practice this. Yes, I prophesy to my kids. The Most High lets me see them, and with my sons, I have to build that imunah. Yes, I have to build that in them to strengthen them. I didn't have to tell my son he was Suka Jr. He told me. I didn't say you're gonna change your name. He said, "Man, Dad, you changed your name." I said, "Yes, sir. I'm Suka Jr." He went on his profile and changed everything. I didn't have to. He went in there and changed. I'm young Suka. You know what I'm saying? And he's run with it. He answers to it. He lives. I said, to have that right there, you have to walk up. You have to way you have to walk before the Most High. There's a way you have to walk before the Most High. Now you take on that, and this is very instrumental. It's us being fathers. Our women need to see us building our kids.
Absolutely.
Our women need to witness us praying over our kids and speaking to our kids, not just fussing and telling them what they undone, but when the last time you spoke over them?
That's right.
When the last time you brought the family and prayed over the family together?
That's right, Elder.
And spoke into the atmosphere over your family.
That's right.
And decreed and declared over your kids. See, we talk about being Israelites, but we miss what Israelites did. Brother. Jacob blessed his kids.
Bless.
He blessed his kids. He spoke them. He told them what they were going to do, but he blessed them.
And the blessing wasn't a 3-minute blessing.
No, sir. No, sir.
They would spend minutes on minutes and hours speaking and pouring and prophetically declaring, "My daughter's an entrepreneur. My daughter's cookies will be known all over the world. My son is an entrepreneur." And you speak that, and and then on occasion, I'll call my son or daughter and say, "I'm just thinking about it." You'll do it too. Son, how you doing? Daughter, how you doing? I just want to tell you I'm proud of you.
Or I'll send them a text. Be like, "You are an amazing kid. I'm so thankful to have you in my life." You know, just little things like that.
And when you know what your kids struggle with, that's what you need to speak against to your kids. Like I have a 17-year-old, she beautiful girl. But for some reason, sometimes she don't feel that way. And the Ruach could just remind me, I could be laying in the bed and she's at school and I'll be doing something, thinking of something, and it'll just hit me. Text Shondo and tell her something. I'll text her, "Hey, baby girl, you the most beautiful thing in the world, girl. You know daddy love you, girl. You better keep your head up." She'll call, "Daddy, I need it, Dad, I need it."
Yeah.
All praise to Yahuwah. I come from being sensitive to the Ruach HaKodesh. It was just like my wife. It's like I would feel her. I will feel her. I would be sensitive to the Ruach, and he'll say, "Listen, say this to Linda. Say this to you. Say this to her. Call her and tell her right now." You know what I'm saying? When we spend time with Yah will help us to navigate these waters. He will open up our understanding. He'll open up what they're dealing with, their deepest emotions. Yah will have you praying for that without them even knowing it. Because our women have been through things. And we have a lot of women that are coming in and they don't have bandages. They just walk in leaking.
That's right.
So it's up to us to speak that word that's going to heal them. Yahusha said, "The words that I speak, they are spirit and life." Husbands, what are you speaking in your home today?
Yes.
What are you decreeing in your home today? Are you a fuss bucket that you look like you know Yah, but you don't know Yah because your words ain't brought no life to the home? Your words carry weight. They're supposed to bring life.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to bring life.
Exactly.
When you're sitting there downing your woman, you're killing your woman. You're killing her. You're killing her strength. You're killing her go-get.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You're always complaining because you're not doing nothing.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You're the woman that's always fussing. You fussing because you ain't doing it, and your husband trying to do it. Where is your discernment? You got your head wrapped on, but you can't see a lick of nothing going on.
Brother, preach, elder.
Yes.
Preach.
It's time out for blind folk getting with blind folk. Two blind folk, y'all ain't gonna hit nothing but the wall.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's a word right there.
Listen, somebody said, Suka, are you gonna get married again? I said, if you who will. They said, what you looking for? I said, listen, let me describe myself as this way. I said, I'm a magnet and I'm not looking for a weight.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm a magnet and I'm not looking for a weight. What do you mean? I said a weight gonna keep me stuck where the weight is stuck at.
That's right.
Weights don't move. They anchor the place that they're at. Why would I want to wait when I'm flowing free in the Ruach?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Because, she's still stuck on certain things. She can't handle if I minister to another woman. She can't handle if it's a large crowd. She don't know how to discern. She's scared. Right. She's fearful. What? No, I don't need the weight.
That's right.
It's got to be a free flow in the Ruach.
Yeah.
But, Aki, I appreciate you, man. You bring out the best in us, man. And we have a standard here, Israel. We have a standard that we can go after as wanting to be husbands and wives.
Mm-hmm.
Chantel Burks, top real estate person in Atlanta area. You want to know what she doing?
Say that.
Top real estate people in Atlanta. Burks LLC. Come on, get with my man DJ YOEL. You want to learn how to do a business. You want to learn how that he has become the successful husband. Inboxing. Reach out. Reach out to Sister Chantel. Reach out. Man, they don't mind your call. These are kingdom people. If we kingdom people, we're about the people in the kingdom. We're not up here for our health and our breath. We up here because y'all is directing us to give this to help his people that are part of the kingdom.
Amen. Amen.
The upliftment for the people.
That's right.
Hallelujah. Aki, I love you, man. You want to pray us out? Please pray us out. And Sister Chantel, any parting words, please?
No. If I say anything else, it's just gonna open up more conversation.
For part two. Part two, y'all. We're coming with part two soon.
Yeah. Just love on yourself. I would just say, everybody, love on yourself, love on each other, your husband, your wife, your children. Let that be the basis of everything that comes out of your mouth.
Abba Yah, we thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for being Elohim. We thank you for being Adonai. We thank you for being the call, the Adonai. We thank you for being the Adon Hakavad, the Lord of glory. We bless you, we rock, and we lift up your name. We thank you for being able to share with the audience. We thank you for being able to share in the wise counsel of Elder Suka. We bless you for the grace you've given unto him, for keeping him even during his very difficult times, that through him as a vehicle, you've impacted countless thousands, if not millions, of people through listening to his exchange and his discussion and his sharing amongst the Hebrew people, to Hebrew and Gentile whom he's blessed. Abba, we thank you. I thank you for my dear wife that she's blessed me with these many years. I thank you for keeping me even in my insecurities and the things that I suffered and dealt with. I thank you for allowing her to operate in grace and in patience to build me up as well, Father. I thank you for your provision that you've allowed me to pour into my wife and to give her identification and purpose. I will bless you. Bless all those that have participated in this discussion. May we be humble in our growth. May we be humble in our expansion. May you give us witty ideas so that we can grow and build the kingdom. By the endless earth to your Son comes to fully redeem the sons of man. Father, we bless you, and we bless you in all things you provided. To the name of your Son, to be esteemed, Yahushua, We pray. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Oh, hallelujah. Listen, we thank you, DJ YOEL. We thank you and your lovely wife, man. We thank y'all so much. I appreciate you for your time, Aki. Man, you are beautiful. You and your wife is inside and out. I pray that Yahuwah Barak you a million times over. I pray the biggest barakah on you and your wife's life, on your kids' life. I pray that Yahuwah just rain down on you, man. I love you with my heart, Aki. I love you and your wife, man. Y'all are such a blessing, bro. And your spirit is so real and genuine, Aki. You are needed in Yasharel. And I encourage you, gentlemen out there, get with DJ YOEL. Get with this brother. Pick that wisdom from him. He has it. Yah has given him a love and a patience for his people. And listen, for you people, listen, I want to leave this song. This is by my sister Samara Israel. I love her music. I love what Yah has given her. This is one of my favorites right here. Y'all take a listen. Shalom, everybody. This is Suka Ben Maccabees from Hebraic Faith TV and Hebraic Faith Marriage with my partner, Yehukanan Yasharala, the Hebrew plug. My man, DJ YOEL, he is the Kingdom DJ. And Miss Chantel Burks, the top real estate lady in the Atlanta area. If you're looking for a place, please get with her. You need a house, please get with her. Shalom, everyone. Let me play this for you on the way out. Y'all have a blessed day.
You were made to rule. You were made to conquer. I am made for you. I am made to honor. I'll obey your every command. I will sway to every demand. You were made to rule. You were made to conquer. I am made for you too. Rule over me. Rule over me. Rule over me. My Lord, you rule over me. Rule over me. My Lord, you were made to govern. You were made to dominate. You are my influence. You are super and you're great. I'll obey your every decree. Loving you is to agree. You are made to rule. You are made to conquer. I am made for you too. Rule over me. Rule over me. From you I learned, fascinated, attracted to your very essence. I live for you to rule over me. My love, you rule over me. Rule over me. My love, rule over me.